I think we'll get started here in about 1 minute. If you haven't picked up a program and you want one, they're available at the door. So I can give people a second if they want to get a program at the door. Good evening, everyone. My name is Donna Fletcher. I'm a teacher and the athletic director here at Harvey High School. I'd like to welcome you to the Hhs Awards evening. This is our first in-person awards evening since 2019, and hopefully an indication that things are returning to normal. Throughout the pandemic, it's been a real struggle to maintain extracurricular sports and activities, with change being the only thing that was constant, and all of us seemingly making these changes on the fly. None of it would have been possible without the dedicated coaches and group advisors we have at Hhs. As a society, we're busier than ever, and several of these individuals have gone above and beyond their commitment to students at this school. Thank you also for the unwavering support of our school administration and Christmas Mommies for providing access to extracurricular activities for all of our students. Special thank you to the parents. You need to be commended for making extracurricular involvement a priority in your families. And finally, a thank you to the students. A special shout out to this year's grade 12s. We've not had a truly normal sports season since February of your grade 10 year. More often than not, I had to deliver bad news to you on how the pandemic would negatively impact your sports world. And you always accepted this news with grace, dignity, and maturity. Beyond your years. Thanks for that, I really appreciate it. A round of applause, please, for everyone that makes this possible. Like every year, we have individual participation certificates for students who have participated on teams or been involved in clubs. These are available on a table at the exit when you leave this evening if you choose to pick one up. They're there sorted by grade and by activity and sport. If they're not picked up tonight, we can actually distribute them in homeroom tomorrow. I'll leave that up to you. As far as the program goes, we'll be following the program a little bit out of order. In the next few days, I will update the program to include the Keynote Award winners and winners of individual team awards, and I'll post that on the Hhs website like I have the last 2 years. That'll be up in the next couple of days. First on our agenda, if you could look in your program, find Hhs Volunteers, find that list. If your name appears under the list Hhs Volunteers, would you please come up on stage? And could I ask Mr. Fletcher and Mr. Woodward to distribute those certificates, please? I'm not announcing the name. You need to find your name in that list. While Mr. Fletcher and Mr. Woodworth are distributing the certificates, I'll make a few comments. These are the winners of the Hhs Volunteer Awards. Behind my back, I think they're often called the Hhs Voluntold Awards. These are the students that when I sort of come skulking across the cafeteria during break or during noon hour, they don't crawl under the table to hide from me, or at least they don't get there fast enough. And that they are the ones that do step up and do much of our volunteering here at the school. And they've helped in the following areas. They keep score at basketball and volleyball games, work in the gates, games, and tournaments. I can't emphasize the importance of having good minor officials at our games, tournaments, and playoffs. We always get lots of positive comments from officials and visiting teams on the excellent job that they do. Some of them set up and take down for soccer, basketball, and volleyball games, practices, and tournaments. This is almost a daily occurrence at our school from September to May. Some of them help coach and referee elementary and middle school students in various sports here at our school, or are acting as a team manager on a school team. And a few of them actually help me out with a very thankless job of sorting and storing uniforms, which still has to be done, by the way. I hope I haven't overlooked anyone. If I have, I do apologize. Please see me at some point, and I will generate you a certificate. Round of applause, please, for the Hhs Volunteers. Thank you, everyone. would look on the very back page of your program at the top, you will notice a special recognition for some individuals and teams here at our school. I won't be speaking to those in detail. There are 5 new banners up around the field that recognize some of those efforts. Team coaches and teams will be referencing those shortly through the evening. And I just want to make note of that we did put up 5 new banners here for various things here in the last week or so. And just another comment, although it's our mission here tonight to recognize students for their participation and achievement in HHS sports and activities, I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge the work of some of our students beyond the activities in our school. We do have several students that have dedicated time to improving themselves through involvement in music programs, UNB and St. Thomas volleyball and basketball programs, basketball and Brunswick's elite development and provincial teams program, Frederick District Soccer Association, and various minor hockey programs, just to name a few. Round of applause, please, for all our students. If you could go to the section of your program listed middle school sports letters, grade 8, I know a few students, a couple are absent tonight possibly for illness, but I would like those students to come up on the stage. So if your name appears under middle school sports letters, grade 8, please come up on the stage. Would each of you reach into your envelope and pull out your letter, please? And proudly display it in front for a picture for Mrs. Henry. Even though the pandemic limited some of our middle school sports offerings over the last few years, grade 8 students in front of you have qualified for the middle school H. These are some of the busiest and most dedicated middle school students in our school, so they've won the middle school H. A round of applause, please. Well done, everyone. If you look in your program under senior letters, grade 12, if your name appears on that list, senior letters, grade 12, if you come up on the stage, please. Would you reach into your envelopes, remove your letters, and display them for a picture for Mrs. Henry, please? If you look at your program, you'll see sports listed after individual names. If that's the case, these grade 12 students have what we call lettered in individual sport. So they get 4-inch H for every individual sport they competed in through their high school career if they played 3 or 4 years in that sport. As well, many of our most involved students are recognized with a major award, the Big H. So some of them are holding up upwards to 4 letters in front of them for these purposes. Good. Round of applause, please, for our high school. Thank you, everyone. If you look in your program under the heading HHS Clubs and Activities, that's the section we'll be going through next. I'm going to ask Mr. Fletcher to come to the mic, and I would ask that any of our Laker leaders come to the stage. Come to the stage, please. If you were involved in Laker leaders, come to the stage.
Laker leaders met each Monday during SEL time. Members helped with planning activities and events to promote school spirit and wellness within the school. Activities organized included the Fall Festival, 12 Days of Winter Break, March Madness Week, Talent Show, and our June Spirit Week. Ms. Wood and I are very appreciative of all the work these students put in and leadership they display. A special shout out to our seniors who have been with us for many years. They have showed great leadership over the years, and we wish you all the best as you graduate. Thank you, everybody. There were a couple other clubs that Ms. Wood was running that I was just going to mention briefly. We did have a middle school drama club. I'm not going to call these students up, but this student-led club allows students to explore the different areas of drama. Members were acting from a student-created script and recently began doing some improv. Future goals include working on videography and set creation. So a little round of applause for those that participated in that. And lastly, Ms. Wood also ran a high school art club. Art club was a student-led initiative as well that allows students to explore various types of art, including painting and music. So a round of applause for those participating.
Would members of the stream team please come to the stage along with Mr. White?
Awesome. Yeah, so this year, for the first time, and as far as we know, for the first time like in the district or in the province, Harvey, we've had the privilege of putting together live streams with full broadcasting and graphics and scene transitions and all that jazz for our sports broadcast. And I know there's been a lot of negatives that have come out of the COVID-19 pandemic, but this is one interesting positive, I think, was the opportunity to take that next step in providing the opportunity for folks to tune into games, not only from inside the gym, but also from home on various platforms. And we couldn't have done it without the creative and innovative and very technologically savvy group of students you see in front of you. I know there's a couple who couldn't be here tonight, but really it's quite the team we have here, and I'm really impressed of all we've been able to accomplish here in our first year. And yeah, Mr. Fletcher and I are looking forward to see where things go.
Thank you. And the stream can be seen tonight as well if anybody wants to watch the show again after.
Could I ask Mrs. Henry to come to the mic?
I'm here speaking tonight on behalf of Mrs. Miller. Mrs. Miller led a GSA this year, a Gender Sexuality Alliance. The work GSA does to help create these welcoming spaces for everyone in the school is worthwhile. The conversations and the work that GSA does helps not only members of the LGBTQ community, but also all members of the school by promoting inclusivity and kindness. This year, we are recognizing one of our graduating members for their contributions to GSA over their high school voyage. Myra Sears, if you could please come on stage. She If I could ask members of Grad Executive and Yearbook to please come forward. grad year has been presented significant challenges the last few years. However, we once again had a group of grade 12 students willing to take on this role. Grad executive designed grad building, ensured the voice of the grad class was heard in decision-making, and have helped to organize the upcoming Safe Grad. This year's grad executive members were Ava Grieve, Alice McDonald, Haley Messer, Emmy Mason, Grace Powell, and Sydney Sullivan. Thank you very much. Yearbook. Putting yearbook together is a task that requires creativity, attention to detail, and recognition of deadlines. This year's group of editors were up to the task, and we are excited for you to see the book when it arrives. I'm hoping early next week. I just got the shipment notice today. I know I've had questions. The editors of the 2022 yearbook were Grace Powell, Alice McDonald, Quinn Moeller, Myra Sears, and grade 11 student Shamira Lloyd. Thank you, everybody.
We will now enter the portion of our program. If you look full page under HHS sports teams, and those are listed in order by season. If I could ask middle school, and we'll start with, if I could ask middle school and high school cross-country members to come to the stage, please.
This fall, Mrs. Sarah Myatt coached middle school and high school cross country. We had 2 high school participants and 10 middle school participants. Our 2 high school athletes, Deborah Christie and Alexander Robichaud, did not have an opportunity to compete, but acted as leaders for our younger athletes. Middle school girls and boys each had competition days at West Carmen Middle School. Everyone had great races, with our grade 7 boys having 2 finishing in the top 5. For high school, Ms. Myatt would like to recognize Alexander Robichaud as most valuable player or cross-country member. Ms. Myatt has 4 recognitions for middle school: Connor McLean, Olivia Albert, Holly Henry, and Michael Roper. Okay, you guys can be seated, and if I could have middle school girls soccer come to the stage. Ms. Miller was the middle school girls soccer coach this year, and she was unable to be here this evening. The middle school girls soccer season was a lot of fun this year. We had a good mix of all grade levels that gave us a well-rounded team. While we didn't win a lot of games, the season culminated with an extremely exciting game where the girls left it all on the field. We tied a team that was not just in first place, but the team that dominated the entire season with blowouts. That tie game showed exactly how much the girls learned over the season, as well as how much they had to bring all to the game. Mrs. Miller was very proud throughout the season and sees the game as a highlight she will not soon forget. While all the girls deserve recognition, there are a few Ms. Miller would like to recognize for their contributions to the season. Coach's Choice Award goes to Emma Mcfadden. Emma was integral to keeping goals out of the net as our goalies. While she didn't always want to play defense, she always did it with a smile on her face. This year's MVP goes to Holly Henry, who can be placed anywhere on the field at any time and will play her role well.
boys soccer come to the stage, please.
Thanks, guys. I feel like I just finished coaching final. I don't have much of a voice, so I'm going to keep this short. Unfortunately, Michelle couldn't be here tonight, but she would sure like to be. Michelle enjoyed coaching the boys last year and watching such a large group of players. I believe we had 27 or 28. Grow as a team. The players were quick learners, very respectful towards us as well as the officials. We were very proud that all the hard work paid off with the banner this year. Thank you all for a great season, and we hope you have a safe summer and a wonderful vacation this year. There are a couple team members we would like to acknowledge. I'd like to present Connor Howland with the Coach's Choice Award. Connor here today? Okay. And our most valuable player to Colton Clayborn.
Would senior girls soccer please come to the stage?
For some reason, I'm nervous, and I don't know why. Anyways, good evening, everyone. It is so nice to be back at HHS for the annual award ceremony. I will try to make this as short as possible, even though I got 4 pages for some reason. Before we get to the awards, I'll do a brief summary of our year, followed by a few thank yous. So this year we started off with only 14 or 15 players, which, if you know our team and our track record for injuries during the year, that wasn't really going to get us anywhere. So with a little bit of talking from our amazing athletic director, Don, who he mentioned, when he comes to you, you really can't say no. I'm at a school 8 years now, and I still say yes to him. So thank you to Maddie and Laura for coming back, even though I'm not sure if you wanted to, and helping us have kind of a team so that we can play this season. I'd also like to give a little shout out to our rookie, Zoe Henry, who graciously this year just came forward and said, I'll play half of a game in net, which nobody ever wants to play goalie, so thank you very much for taking that on. Our season was going along very well. We had lots of wins, some losses, but we still came out #1 in our conference and had the privilege to host regionals. We did have a hard-fought battle against Mcfadden, but we won that in overtime to punch our 3rd consecutive ticket to provincials. I mentioned earlier that the team's track record of injuries wasn't very good. Well, as a coach, I am part of the team, and unfortunately, I managed to fall down some stairs, tweak my back, hurt my pelvis all at 6 months pregnant, so I was unable to be with the team at provincials, which was very hard. When I made the call to Don to let him know I wouldn't be able to be there, I had 110% faith in the amazing parents and coaches that Tammy and Jenner that came along and helped the girls in provincials. Provincials were also very hard fought. We unfortunately did come up short, but all in all, it was an amazing season, and I can't wait for more with the team. My first thank you goes out to the parents. Thank you for showing up to support your girls. It's amazing to see so much support. And they may not say it to you in person, but deep, deep down, they really are. Thank you for all your support. Also, thank you for being the main source of transportation. If it wasn't for the parents, we wouldn't be able to travel around our region. Second thank you, once again, goes out to Tammy and Jen. At the drop of a hat, you were able to be there to lead these girls at a critical time, and I couldn't have put my trust in two better people. My third thank you goes out to the team. Thank you for being incredible girls. You all put so much effort into this sport, and I couldn't be more proud of you. And lastly, to Dawn, thank you so much for your dedication to the athletes, the sport, HHS, and the community as a whole. I'm getting teary-eyed. You work tirelessly to make sure all the events go without a hitch, and I'm not the only one that will say HHS and athletics will miss you next year. Okay, now on to our awards. First off, Rookie of the Year. With 8 out of 17 of our players being rookies, it definitely was a hard decision. But this player was one that I could ask her to play anywhere on the field, and she would most times. An incredible defender that I can't wait to watch her grow over the next seasons. Our key corner kicker this year's Rookie of the Year is Madison Cole. My coach's choice this year, this spitfire of a player gives 110% in all practices and games. Her love for the sport is unmatchable. This player is the definition of determination. Even with an arm injury, she was still finding ways to play. Even if I said, I really don't think you should play against this team today, I got the, well, Mom said so. This year's coach's choice is Alice Rotor. Lastly, our MVPs. This is really hard as I started coaching these girls 4 years ago in grade 9, and now that they are seniors, it's really sad to see them go and all of my seniors too. My first MVP is a player that over the years has been my go-to player to put her anywhere on the field. Sometimes I didn't have to, as I found her sometimes halfway up the field or in the middle of the field or wherever she might have been, but always to manage to get her right back to the defensive position. I truly, truly will miss this go-getter, Madeline Bernard. And my second MVP has been through her own fair share of injuries, from ankles to knees to surgeries. She always comes back, though, 110% stronger than before. I really will miss this speed demon forward next year, Ava.
Could senior boys soccer come to the stage, please?
I've got a bit of a cold, so I'm going to keep my mask on. It is cold. I haven't been to kettlebell. Good evening, everyone. First, I'd like to say thank you to Donna Fletcher for all his efforts to make coaching such an easy task throughout the season for me. Your work behind the scenes never goes unnoticed. Thank you very much. For the soccer team, boys, we were doomed right from the start. Our main coach, the coach with the knowledge, the soccer coaching knowledge, left the scene. Don't blame yourselves. He got transferred to his home province in Nova Scotia, I guess, and couldn't pass that on. Well then, the team from Sussex that we dominated. We beat pretty soundly. They had to fold due to the vaccination mandate. So there was probably two wins out of our year. And we lost some key players because of the mandate too, which hurt along the way. But we made it through the season. It all came to a close when we had when we lost a close match, 1-0 to Stanley at the regionals in Miramichi. I'm always happy to coach teams in Harvey as they always show good sportsmanship during and after the games. I often get compliments from strangers on what a nice bunch of young men they are. And I agree. For my coach's choice, I chose a player whose soccer skills are in the higher level for our team. Although he was not able to rack up a lot of goals, it is his passion for the game of soccer that really shows to me, and whether he's on the field or on the bench. My coach's choice is Marwan Alhamdi. The MVP, I chose two players to share this award. When all things are taken into consideration, like dedication, coachability, team-oriented, and attitude, there are quite a few that score really high in these categories. But the two that stand out are the two that you see at the opponent's goal line, and then you see them at your own goal line. Maybe not true positional soccer, but it was often necessary. Effort and heart were what make up my mind on these two players for MVP, Ben Chessie and Adam Berry. Thank you, guys.
Could members of the middle school girls and members of the junior girls basketball team please come to the stage?
Girl. It's been a while, it seems like. Okay, so this year we had both a middle school and a JV, I'll put it in quotes, team. We didn't really have enough to field what we would normally call a JV team. We ended up picking up a lot of the younger players to kind of fill that role and fill a roster, which was fantastic. It made for a lot of development for some of the younger players, being able to play with some that have played for a lot more years. As you can see, we have a lot of younger players, which is great. We have a great talent pool coming up through the system. These kids, unfortunately, through COVID, obviously haven't played a lot of competitive basketball in quite some time. Maybe a little bit of mini, but it hasn't been quite the same as what we're used to. But they really stepped up this year, and it was a really great season. For middle school, basically they had to listen to us harp all year about keeping their fundamentals and doing what we asked them to do that way, even though we were playing some teams that literally just ran up and down the floor trying to grab at you and throw the ball and happen to get it in a lot, which is very frustrating. However, they stuck with it, and near the end of the season, we ended up in districts. Basically, we ended up winning that game finally against a team they had actually lost to just a few weeks prior, and it ended up winning our bronze medal. So it was a fantastic season. They did a great job. Look forward to a lot more years with a bunch of these girls. First off, we have a presentation for our coach's choice on this team. This player, they showed up every time. They're one of the leaders. They're a little bit younger, but you'd never know it on the floor. They gave it their all every day. True player that wants to learn, and our coach's choice goes to Holly Henry. Our MVP for this year shouldn't be a surprise for anybody that watched us this year. She was our go-to. We kind of gave her a role pretty much every game, saying, you gotta do this, you gotta do this, you gotta do this. So, and she's not only that, she was a great team player. She really worked to develop the young kids as well. And that goes to Emma Mcfadden. And for our JV team, a lot of the players overlapped. Our coach's choice, I don't believe is here tonight, so I'll just really briefly touch on her. It goes to Maddie Mason. Maddie was a real dedicated player this year. She was very consistent, she always gave it her all, and she was a great, strong player for us. And our MVP for that team as well, even though she was one of the younger players, is Ava Grieve.
Would middle school boys basketball come to the stage?
This year we had 12 players from grades 6 to 8. The team played exhibition games against Bundy and St. Stephen and competed in the Tier 1 Predator League against some of the toughest teams in New Brunswick. Over the season, which featured multiple interruptions, the boys' skills and passion for the game grew tremendously. By the time provincials in Petitcodiac came around, at the end of March, we were starting to fire on all cylinders, and the team chemistry was really growing. Even with some injuries, the boys played very well there, but narrowly came up short in the semifinals. It was especially great to hear so many positive comments from parents about how well the boys did, even after a loss. The talent level and competitiveness amongst the boys is extremely high, and if they continue to put in the time to get better, they'll achieve lots of success in later grades. And with potentially 9 returning players, they'll be a force to be reckoned with next year in middle school. My coach's choice for the team goes to a player who was one of our grade 8 leaders, who loves the game and puts in lots of extra work. He even hit a game winner against Bundy. Congratulations, Connor Little. Connor unable to be here. My MVP goes to the player who was one of our primary ball handlers, played tenacious defense, and led us in scoring throughout the year. This award goes to Colby Claiborne. Thanks everyone for the great year, and I hope you keep improving in the offseason.
Would senior girls basketball please come to the stage?
When I started to kind of think back about this year and back to November, it seems so long ago with all of the disruptions we've had and season starting and stopping and starting again and stopping again. And I think more than anything, it showed me how resilient I think teams in general are, and this group in particular. I certainly heard complaining from a lot of people about basketball being canceled or stopped. I didn't hear any of it from this particular group of people. They showed up when they could show up, they worked hard when they could work hard, and they competed hard when they were able to compete. So thank you, girls, for that. We did move up to play AA basketball this year. We qualified for playoffs. We went to Bundy for a playoff game, having just lost to them by 30 points the week before and beat them by 25 points, I believe, in a playoff game, which qualified us for regionals. Unfortunately, we didn't have enough players healthy to compete at regionals, so our season ended there, which isn't the way that these players necessarily deserve to have, especially our seniors have their season end, but it was something that was out of our control. And again, I didn't hear any complaining from anybody about that. I do have a few individual awards to present. Before I do that, I would just like to say thanks to Mr. Fletcher, as several people have done already tonight. I believe, kind of lost track a little bit. I think this was our 10th season coaching together, if that's right. So I certainly learned a lot and leaned on his experience a lot over those 10 years. And he'll certainly be missed on the bench next year. So thank you, Mr. Fletcher. In terms of individual awards, I'll start with Rookie of the Year. This was a difficult season for rookies a little bit, having had so many interruptions in basketball over 2 years. For our real true rookies this year, they were going from really competing mostly in middle school basketball, the last time they competed, to competing in probably the best AA girls conference in the province, which is a pretty big jump, but they all put it themselves pretty well. We have one rookie in particular, Riley. We probably asked her to do a lot of things that or threw her into the fire a little bit in terms of the role that we asked her to play, but she acquitted herself very well, and we really saw her confidence grow throughout the year, and became a real key contributor for us through the playoff games that we talked about. So Rookie of the Year goes to Riley. Next is our Coach's Choice Award. I think Mr. Fletcher and I both agree this was a pretty easy selection. In my 10 years here, I'm not sure there'd be a player probably more deserving of this award, or that would more exemplify what you think of when you think of a Coach's Choice winner. Haley just showed up and really never made many mistakes. Just was always did what she was supposed to do, was always where she was supposed to be, knew what she was supposed to do. And really towards the end of the year, she was playing through quite a bit of pain. I think at times probably shouldn't have been playing, and played almost the whole game in that playoff game that we talked about. So our Coach's Choice Award goes to Haley. We have two Most Valuable Player Awards to present. The first, both are grade 12s. The first award, Natalie is just a really good overall athlete, and really uses that to her advantage on the basketball court. She's a great scorer, has really contributed for us from the time she was in grade 9 on some pretty good teams all the way through grade 12. And she always seems to play her best in big games when it matters. So our first Most Valuable Player Award goes to Natalie Bruner. And finally, our second Most Valuable Player Award. Ava has started her career with us actually in grade 8, and contributed even from the start of her grade 8 year to a varsity team that was kind of at the top of the A level at that time. Through her first 2 years, and then obviously through her last year was a leader on the team this year. So I think anybody that's watched us wouldn't question Ava's talent or ability. I think anybody that was around us through Ava's grade 10 and 11 year would learn more about Ava than they would have in the other years. So she went through knee injury in grade 10, and kept her for most of that season and the grade 11 season. And through that whole time, she was always around us, was supporting the other players, was almost like another coach on the bench. And again, never complained through that whole time. And then it was great to see her come back this year and have such a great year and be named an All-Star as well. So congratulations to you.
Thanks, Roofie. Okay, 2 boys basketball teams from the state.
So Bob and I are both here, and we're a little disappointed that for some of our players, their grade 12 years have not been what they should have been. It's been difficult with COVID. We had probably the best team in the province in AA over the last couple of years, and really didn't have a chance to for the guys to show it because of the rules and the sickness and so on. So it's been a sad high school career to some extent, although it's a great group of guys and dedicated and athletic. And it's one of those groups that in previous years they would have had, better recognition in terms of trophies and tournament wins and so on. We went to a tournament in Miramichi and won that tournament, defeating AA schools up in the North Shore. We played the best, so we won the Southern Conference, beating two pretty big AA schools, St. Stephen and Hampton. In our playoffs against the West, for the Southwest, to advance from the Southwest. Unfortunately, two of our starting players, Alexander and Ben Jesse, were not able to play. Had a very close game, didn't quite have the ability to win without those two starters. It's one of those, should be an asterisk beside the team that beat us, because we had a very nice team, and dedicated, great players, sportsmanlike, and unfortunately it just wasn't there because of this COVID, which has affected us all so much. We do have some awards, however. First of all, Rookie of the Year. Not every team has a Rookie of the Year award, but we do for basketball. And this guy has made the provincial basketball team. He's playing for the U15 provincial team and going to Alberta, I think, in a few weeks. Luke Riley. And coming back, I believe, not just staying in Alberta, coming back. Played 3 more years at Harvey High. Coach's choice, we had a couple seniors who have been dedicated athletes and have contributed amazingly, one on the post and one making threes from the outside. Sam and Ethan. Two other players who have both had very good high school careers. One isn't finished yet. We hope he'll be back to lead us to a championship next year. The grade 12 is Adam Barrio, and grade 11, Ben Chesick. That's about the only time Ben's ever come up towards us and not had a joke. That was something to get us laughing. Guys, thank you very much for your dedication. For the guys that are coming back, I hope we're still working. I think there's another championship opportunity there next year. We're graduating 3 very good players, but we have a nucleus of good players coming back. Some of these guys are growing. I don't know if there's 3 inches for one of these guys already. So we're looking to be very competitive again another year, and the nucleus of some very good guys that are going to compete again next year. Bob, you want to add anything?
No, perfect.
Okay. Thank you all.
Would the middle school girls volleyball team come to the stage?
would like to start by thanking all the parents and players for the great season. So we started out a little rocky and ended up finishing second place in our league playoffs, which was pretty good. So we had a major building and learning year as most of our players had never even played volleyball before. So we're definitely looking forward to next year and improving even more. So we also found out in playoffs that our girls have quite the love for Katy Perry, which we wish that we had found out sooner because it gave them quite the winning power in playoffs. So definitely a great job, girls. Our coach's choice this year goes to someone who could always be found cheering their teammates on, lifting everybody's spirits and making everyone laugh. Our coach's choice goes to Luna Chevalier. Our MVP this year could be found anywhere on the court chasing the ball down, was a consistent server and a big asset to our team. Our MVP this year goes to Ava Grieve. Again, we would like to say a big thank you to everyone for a great season.
Could the middle school boys volleyball team come to the stage, please?
I would like to start off by thanking you boys for an awesome season and for not only entertaining, but leading Logan and I to the perfect coaching debut. I would like to congratulate you guys for having as close to a perfect season as you can get. We had a great run and many great moments to show off how much these boys wanted to win. Whether it's letting the other team get up 24-12, then to serve 14 straight to take the set, or calling our own hits out to trick the other team. It wasn't hard to tell we wanted to win. You boys have tons of potential, and I can't wait to see where it leads you in your athletic futures. Moving on to the awards, Logan and I were quite surprised when we found out just how hard it is to pick who will be receiving what. Every kid on this team contributed in their own way, and it wouldn't have been the same without them. For Coach's Choice, we managed to talk Mr. Fletcher into allowing 3 recipients. These 3 showed off their hard work, willingness to improve, and never complained. Congrats to Michael Robichaud, Nolan Smith, and Ryan McElwain. Moving to our MVP, this player showed off his incredible athletic ability, natural talent for the game, and helped improve those around him. On top of playing Team NB football at the same time, of course, prioritizing us. Congratulations to Griffin Hanna, I don't think he's here today, for a great season, and once more to all of you for making our debut as easy as it was. Also, big thank you to Mr. Fletcher for making this possible. Round of applause for him. Would junior girls volleyball come to the stage, please?
First, I would like to thank the players and parents for being patient with me during the season. This was the first time I've had to be a main coach. I really enjoyed being a sidekick, assistant coach more. Huge thank you to Casey for helping me out this season. We were in a division with mostly AA schools. The other team that was single play was Graham and Ann. We won all of our league games except against Bundy, who was a very strong team. But with all the improvements the girls made throughout the season, our last game against Bundy was a great game, and we definitely could see the improvements that you've made throughout the season. For a group of girls who like to talk a lot, once they got on the floor, it was hard to get them to talk. But we worked on it a lot in practice, and by the end, the girls were getting the hang of it. Two of our girls really took on being our main communicators when they were on the floor. Zoe and Delaney, we appreciate your upbeat and positive attitudes on and off the court. That is why we have given you the Coach's Choice Awards. Our MVPs all held different roles on the team, but were all needed on the court. And our MVP awards go to Georgia Bernard, Maddie Nicole, and Aaliyah Neshra. Thank you, ladies. Great season.
Would senior girls volleyball please come to the stage?
I'm not really sure where to start with this team. I guess we'll start how we started the season, which was having 4 returning players and thinking, what are we going to do? Because we had some big shoes to fill with all the grads that we lost last year. Didn't really know what to expect. Ended up having a relatively normal volleyball season despite COVID, which was fantastic for this group, where we had so many seniors. We kept asking Don to sign us up for tournaments, and he just kept agreeing, so it was great. We had a lot of gym time, and because of it, we ended up with a lot of success, ending up with the banner on the wall, which deserves a round of applause. It especially meant a lot to Tammy and I to be able to be part of this team and get the banner with these girls, since there's 6 seniors on this team that we've coached in volleyball and basketball basically from the time they were in elementary school. So to be able to be involved with them during an exciting banner was something we'll never forget for sure. So thank you. If you've watched us play, or any volleyball team, if you watch us play, you'd understand that it's really hard to pick a single position, a single player to point out, because I'd say even more than basketball, which we're highly involved with as well, it's one person really can't take control. We're not really the participation award type of girls here, so we still, though, could not narrow it down. We had 4 players. We're not doing a coach's choice. We have 4 players that were by far our most valuable players. They all played different roles on our team. And without them in each of those roles, we wouldn't have had the success that we did have. First up, we have Natalie. Natalie played in the middle. She was our center player. She was our consistent blocker all year. She was, she was a power hitter. All that stuff happened all year, and we couldn't have done it without her. Next up, we had Ava Grieve. Ava, just like most other sports, she is just a true athlete, all around, definitely one of our most talented all-around players. She played in the power position. She played great defense. When she wasn't there, we would definitely miss her. Next up, we have Haley Messer. Haley played our lead position. If you're familiar with volleyball or have played volleyball, you know and consistent passing in the back. And without her there, we would have been lost because that consistent passing, we got compliments on all year from other coaches and from referees. And finally, last but not least, we have Maddie Mason. Maddie was our center this year. She really stepped up. She had played for us last year as well in our not so normal season as kind of our backup setter role. This year she was basically our sole setter. She stepped up. She was very consistent and set her way to the championship. So thank you, girls, for everything.
Senior boys volleyball.
Good evening, everyone. I want to start by saying thank you to this group of guys for a super fun season, very competitive and always entertaining, not only to me, but to the refs and the other teams. They're a good group of guys. As well, I want to say thanks to all of the parents for your support, for driving, getting these kids to games and to tournaments. Really appreciate that. So boys, we had a great season. We won some great matches against some strong teams. You worked hard on the court. You cheered your teammates on if you were on the bench. I loved your competitiveness and digging in to come back and to win some sets where we were down by quite a few points. I'm sure we all remember that set. So it was a great season. Thanks, guys. On to the awards. So my coach's choice goes to a player who worked hard. He was all over the court trying to get in position to set our hitters, even from not so on target passes. So our coach's choice goes to Archer Smith. MVP award is going to go to two players. So these guys were solid defensively and offensively in every game. It was really fun watching them rack up the kills and the blocks and their cheering. Adam Barrio and Ben Chester. Thanks, guys.
Could middle school track and field athletes come to the school, or come to the stage with?
Good thing Ryan's not doing the hurdles. Okay, the middle school track team has practiced twice in the past week in events including shot put, softball throw, short sprints and longer sprints and relays. We'll be heading to Nashwauk Sis Middle School this Thursday for these 20 athletes to compete, and I wish them the best of luck, and it's been a great season. Short.
That concludes our team section of the program. If you turn to the back page of your program, you'll see our Keynote Awards listed. We'll be beginning that soon. Before we do that, I just wanted to give a brief shout out to our coaches. We have coaches here on our coaching staff that are very experienced coaches. They've been with us quite some time. They coach different teams for us. They've been coaching for us for several years. And you look at some of our coaching staff, we actually have some recent graduates in the last year or two. Yes, they still don't say no. And we actually have a few coaches on staff that haven't even graduated yet. And I do appreciate these younger coaches stepping up to help, especially with our middle level teams and our junior teams. It's been very helpful. But a round of applause, please, for all our coaches. So we are into the Keynotes Award section of our program. As we do each year, a committee of teachers and coaches at our school meet to select the Keynote Award winners. This is always a challenging process because of the number of quality students we have involved in extracurricular activities at our school. In the end, we've made some very appropriate and deserving selections. I would ask Keynote Award winners, anybody that wins an award from this point forward in the program, if they could wait afterwards, we could do some photo opportunities here on the stage, and we'll be using the big trophies that are in the cabinet for those photo opportunities. And we also have paper certificates to go with those. So here we go. We'll start with the John R. Kirk Award for Outstanding Contribution to the Athletics Program. The name of this award really says it all. The winners of the award this year are students who have dedicated countless volunteer hours over the years in the HHS gym, by keeping score at games and tournaments, setting up and taking down the gym for games and tournaments, or helping coach and referee younger individuals in our school and community. These individuals rarely say no. It's not in their DNA. They do all of this while still being very good students and very dedicated athletes on the various teams here at the school. The winners of the John R. Kirk Award for Outstanding Contribution to the Athletics Program are Ava Grieve, Alice McDonald, Ethan Davis. Yes, we can come to church. Thanks, everybody.
Okay, our next award is the Cartwright Memorial Award for Sportsmanship and Dedication. And I think we've heard from several coaches today, whenever we travel with Harvey High teams, we always get compliments from officials and other coaches and fans about the sportsmanship of our players. And I think we certainly all know that we couldn't run the athletics programs that we do and have the success that we do without the dedication of our athletes. We have 5 winners tonight, or 5 people being recognized tonight. I would ask them to come forward. Haley Messer, Warren Haley, Madison Chisholm, Ethan Davidson, and Sam Hinchy.
Next up is the Richard J. Smith Award for Outstanding Student Leadership. This is being presented to a grade 12 student who has been a leader amongst her peers, participating in Laker Leaders and many other groups, has been a huge volunteer and led in many different grad activities. This award is presented to Alice McDonald. All right, next up are the Middle School Athletes of the Year, presented by Hathaway Orthodontics. There are 3 recipients of this award this year. These athletes played multiple sports, have been MVPs and Coach's Choice in multiple different sports. These awards are presented to Emma Mcfadden, Colby Claycorn, and Connor Little.
Our next award is the Klein Memorial Award for Junior Athletes of the Year. And each season, these are athletes that you would see up on stage several times, although they may not get the recognition through the night that some others do, because it's not that they're being overlooked, it's just that these are all athletes that would be primarily competing on senior teams with older athletes. This year we have 3 recipients. Please come forward: Delaney Mathelaine, Riley Merchant, and Joe Gregory.
Senior Athletes of the Year. I'm going to ask Mr. McMullen to come forward to present these awards, if you could. The following students have been mentioned numerous times this evening. There should be no surprise that they're recognized as Senior Athletes of the Year. I'm going to ask Dave to come forward to present the David McMullen Trophy for Senior Athletes of the Year to the following 4 recipients: Ava Grieve, Natalie Bernard, Adam Barrio, Ben Jesse. Thanks, everyone. Before we break for the evening and take our pictures, Mr. Michael Fletcher indicated to me that the stream team has put together a compilation video, a highlight video that runs a couple of minutes, and that'll be playing in the morning, correct? Waiting for the projector to turn on. All right, Don, I didn't think I'd let you get away that easy.
Hi, Donna. Congratulations on your retirement. I consider myself incredibly lucky to have been coached by you back in the day. My favorite memory goes back to 1997. You led our team all the way to winning the provincial championship against the Petitcodiac Panthers.
When I think of high school and living out in Harvey, I think of basketball and Donna Fletcher. Congratulations on your retirement, Donald. I'm so happy for you, so well deserved. Thank you for everything you've done for so many students. You've made such an impact.
Hey Don, just wanted to send you a quick congratulations for your retirement, but also especially I want to say thank you so very much for everything you've done for me over the years and Harvey Athletics as a whole. You're the piece to keep everything going, and I don't think that I would be where I am today, and I don't think Harvey Athletics would be where they are today without your hard work and your dedication to us. So enjoy retirement and get some rest. Thanks.
Happy retirement, Don. Thank you from the bottom of all of our hearts for all the countless hours of dedication you've put into HHS and most specifically the athletic program. I know you played a big role in shaping who I am today, and I can't thank you enough for all of the knowledge and opportunities you bestowed upon me. I wish you all the best in the years to come. I hope they are wonderful and full of relaxation. You most certainly deserve it.
Just want to say a huge thank you for everything you've done for me and for everybody else over the years. I hope you enjoy your retirement, Fletcher.
Hi, Don. This is Wendy Barner, class of '97. It's my class's 25th reunion this year, so I've been reflecting a lot on the teachers at Harvey High, and when I think back to you, I think of a lot of great things. You were so committed, so energetic. But you know, when I thought about making this video and reflected on what I remember you teaching us, you taught us computers and you taught us the internet. We had a project about using the internet, and so you got us the frickin' internet. So thanks for that, and congratulations on your retirement.
Congratulations, Mr. Fletcher from Mcfadden.
Hey Don, just wanted to thank you for all of your fantastic puns, dad jokes, and for never taking anyone's crap in math class over the years. Some great basketball memories as well. Harvey High won't be the same without those keys jiggling down the hall. Congratulations on your retirement.
Hey, Mr. Fletcher, I just wanted to say thank you for these past 6 years. Not only did you teach me math, you also taught me how to be dedicated to volunteering, whether that be for scorekeeping or coaching. I will always be grateful for every opportunity that you've given me. So, from me, I wanted to say, happy retirement.
We are so thankful for everything that you've done for all three of us during our time at Harvey High School. Thanks, Mr. Fletcher.
Dylan was my coach and my teacher, and I will always remember one thing he said: excuses are for losers.
Hey Dad. Some of my favorite memories from high school are having you as my basketball coach and always seeing you go out of your way to help those around you. I feel pretty lucky that I do get to have you as a teacher and a coach for the rest of my life. Love you. Happy retirement.
Hey Dad, congratulations on your retirement, long overdue, and I'm glad you finally have time to do things you really want to do, like hopefully chasing our career. Talk to you later, love you very much.
Hi, Dad. Don't tell Mr. McMullen I said this, but you were the best basketball coach I ever had, the best boss I ever had, and probably the best teacher I ever had, too, but I don't think you can say the same for me in terms of math students. I just wanted to say thank you for all of the advice and lessons you've taught me over the years, including the fact that a Ross Klein Memorial shirt is a good outfit for any occasion, and the best advice I've ever been given, which is just relax and make it happen. I can say without hesitation that that's helped me in my near 30 years of existence avoid a few what I like to call quarter-life crises, and I think that many other people in our school community, athletic community, and greater community can say the same. And you've had a really big impact on who I am and what our community is, and I hope to have a similar impact on the world around me like you've had. I hope that the next couple of years bring you some time to just relax and rest and do the things you might not have had time to do while you were serving others. I have a couple other people who want to say congratulations too.
Congratulations, Don.
And Ruby says congratulations too. Bye, Dad.
Got a couple other things for our team today.
First off, I told you to keep it 20 to 30 seconds, but there's no way Amelia could talk that little. Now we have two gifts for you, Dawn. The first, as many of you know, Dawn can often be heard from far, far away by a speed jingling, whether it be in the classroom or in the gym. We thought as a parting gift, we should get you the biggest carabiner of them all. This is entitled Non-Keys to Retirement. Okay? The keys include staying some time at home, the beach in Cuba, some San Antonio Spurs for basketball, and some fishing. Okay, so, and on it says World's Best AD Lakers. So thank you for those that organized to help getting that made. Lastly, many of us have noticed our score desk is due for a bit of an upgrade. Considering your time organizing scorekeepers and volunteers, it seemed appropriate that this upgrade was done in appreciation of all the hard work that you do and the dedication to the school and its athletics program. It is not yet complete, but we do have an image of what it would look like, and hopefully it meets your approval. Mr. Worth, you just hit play, it'll show. So this is just sort of the prototype of what we're hoping. Let's see. Wait a second. There it is. So on it, it says, in appreciation of Don Fletcher for all his time with the Harvey Athletics Program. You've left some big shoes to fill, but in hoping you don't go too far away and be around to lend a hand from time to time in the coming years. Thank you, Don, for all that you have done, and we all wish you a happy retirement.
Thank you, everyone. I put the program together for the awards ceremony tonight, and nowhere in there did I see this listed. People were acting a little funky around me the last couple of days, so I thought maybe something might be up, but I wasn't sure, so I did prepare a few remarks. I was hoping to avoid any mention of my retirement this evening. Thanks, everyone, for not letting that happen. It's okay. As I said, the last few weeks have been a little funky for me as I contemplate my retirement. And as you noticed, I have had a hard time keeping my emotions in check. This certainly doesn't help. I do realize life will be a little different for me, especially when school starts up in September. I've been teaching at Harvey High for 33 years, and every day at school, not one day outside of school. And as well as that, I've been coaching for 36 years at this school. So my retirement will mean some changes for me and my family. As many of you know, I've logged a few hours here at the school and in the gym, but Paul and I are both looking forward to a more flexible schedule and the things that will allow us to do things for ourselves and our family. Through it all, I've been blessed to meet some great people, whether they be students, athletes, teachers, coaches, and several parents. It's been a great ride. Thanks, everybody. Much appreciated. Am I allowed to conclude the program as it was previously supposed to be? Okay. As I said previously, winners of Keynote Awards, we'd ask that you stay after. There's some photo opportunities we have to have with that, with the big Keynote Awards. And I'm asking, if possible, if you want to pick up your certificates on the way out, you can pick them up off the table. You can do that, or we'll distribute those tomorrow. Thank you, everybody.